Okay, good night, good night. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Dr. Matthews is in the house. Share the live. Share the live, everyone. Share the live to those who are now joining. Good evening, good night, good morning, good afternoon to whichever part of the world you are. Bonjour, bon tarde, boa noite. Buenos dias, buenos tardes, buenas noites. Share the live. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Good evening to all. I'll take another minute before I start, but share the live. Yes, yes, good night, good evening, good night. Good night to everyone who are now joining. Share the live, share the live, share the live. Share the live. Tonight we got to talk about two persons' name. Share the live. As a matter of fact, we have to speak about two persons, sorry. And we have to let people know exactly what is representing us on the world stage. Share the live. Good evening to you. So, good evening to those who are joining us from Guyana, the Caribbean Isles, the West Indian Isles, the Pacific Isles, the British Virgin Isles, the U.S. Virgin Isles, the Maldives, Mexico, U.S., Canada, U.K., EU, China, Beijing, Hong Kong, Japan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, some of them on the Russian Peninsula, the Russian Federation, as a matter of fact, to Guyanese who are studying there, to those who are looking at me from the Australian continent, as far as Melbourne and Tasmania, to those who are joining from the New Zealand Isles and the Tonga Isles. Good night to you all. To those who are coming from the African continent, as a matter of fact, from Kemeth, which were now the two that people acknowledge, I acknowledge as Kemeth, and I see there's no Middle East or no Middle West or North or South. It's just a continent. Good night to you from the South American continent. To those as far away as from Chile, Argentina, Colombia, Venezuela, Suriname, Brazil, as far as away from French and Dutch Guiana, the Netherlands, and also to those who are joining me from Curacao, or Curacao, however you pronounce it. Good evening to you from Guyana. This is Dr. Matthews coming to you live. Yes, I'm fired up tonight. I'm fired up. Tonight, we got a few bones to pick, but you could imagine, can you imagine? We got a dunce and a criminal representing Guyana on the international world stage. What a waste of time. You know, here, this thing is be a laugh. Before the de facto president can speak, you know he can talk rubbish. The guy can't pronounce words. He has, you know, to the de facto administration that spends the taxpayers' money. When this guy come back home, y'all take him and put him in a phonics class so he can be able to pronounce words properly. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. Pronounce words properly, not pronouns, pronounce. So he can be able to, maneuver Talale, end up like Clement, when Clement, 83,000 square miles of Guyana. But you could imagine this guy representing Guyana, and right next to him sits the rat. You can imagine that. My Lord. Oh my gosh. You could imagine. Guyana. Is Guyana a real place? Now it tells me that I really gotta go look for IFLAC University. Because I can't understand where this guy graduated from, how he got his degree and his doctorate. I mean, I'm doctor, but I just certified myself because I'm self-educated. But this guy can't even say he's self-educated because by the way though, this is what we got representing us. This is what we got representing Guyana, and he's there to give Guyana away. Secondly, he has the audacity to talk about repatriation. Y'all best call you and tell you turn on to Gavin Matthews' show. The word is repatriation. Imagine he gone there to represent people of African descent. And these people killing black people out in this country. These people killing people of African descent out in this country. This with this party, this do. And he gone there to represent the people who he's murdering. You could imagine that. Oh, they're gonna put up the hand and say, well, now we shooting them. Is the Marty Black like themselves? They join the police, but it's who in charge of them? Huh? Who's really in charge of them? Look, here. You can imagine he's talking about repatriation. And not all of that. You know why he's doing that? Let me tell you why he's doing that. Because on the 21st of December 2020, that same Caroline Rodriguez, Carlin should name, the representation for Guyana United Nations, she sat on that special council and vote with the United States of America against a how should I put it over? Let us say against not a referendum. Let us say against a bill that was crafted by South Africa and other nations along with Guyana, then the David Granger government, to table it in United Nations to vote against countries, to vote for a bill to pass that could bring countries to subjection that practices racism. And they went there in 2020 on the 21st of December to vote against it. That same particular government, that same particular terrorist party. And when it was brought up, then they realized, oh, they're jumping, they're squibbling. So they're trying to create on the world stage with that wicked witch, Sarah Lynch. You know, it's called her name. The American ambassador. Somebody got for catching, trim off them broom edges so she can't fly around this country in she broomstick. You understand? To tell people now, they're going to represent black people. Which black people? Come to Guyana, come back home and open the forum. I want you to go on the public stage and talk so I could be there. Because you're only lying, you're no good. And you saying that you representing people on an international stage, people of African origins, you speaking against the transatlantic trade and the tides of slavery and all these things. But you voted on the 21st of December 2020 against that document that was put in the United Nations National Assembly with all the countries that were involved. 240 countries that were involved in that voting process. You're one of them, ear fraud, because you sent Caroline Rodriguez. You think people know your dirty, stinking story? You think that this man forget? Then you're gone there today. Yesterday. Not today, yesterday. You sat on that particular council. I don't know who you think you're fooling. You forget the song. It says if you think you're fooling me, you're fooling yourself. You understand? Hold on. I got a man, I got black here. How long are you waiting for you to turn up? VJ, sing. I got black you, boy. Go up on the other channels. Because why you sit down and talk is the truth. You don't talk about it in my mouth. I'm mentioning the date and time. It's on the internet. You can hear. You know what I love about the internet? The minute you put something out there, it keeps it for remembrance purposes. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. The proper pronunciation. The internet. As long as you put something out there, it keeps it for remembrance purposes. You can scrub all you want. Give Bart a hard brush on the side so you go up on the knees and start scrubbing. Can't come off the internet. It's there. And if it ain't ready, if it's not there, it's there on Gavin Matthews' cerebral capacity. So don't think we forget. You're a disgrace to this country and to African Guyanese, and you gonna never think you go represent we. Nobody wants you to represent us because you think you're a chatri along with your others, and all of y'all and the rest of y'all are a bunch of murderers. Why don't you sit up there and tell people about the 1,400 African Guyanese that died? Who ain't dead can be found. Tell them about that. Don't mistake yourself. And who's responsible? The same rat was sitting next to you. It's the same party you know head of. A bunch of gang of murderers. You know, I don't hesitate. You understand? I don't hesitate because you can't go and talk nonsense and expect me to swallow it. That's the biggest, fattest lie ever. And I understand that's politics. And Sarah and Bart is it's schooling you properly. But I don't know who you think you're talking about. If it's the Guyanese that you're talking about. Well, let me inform you. Your day is coming indeed. Your day is coming because you would never be president all the time. And when you step down, there's jail time because you're a constitutional criminal. You're talking about repatriation and benefits and all these things. Give back Guyana the Constitution. Tell them you sit down on it in your house. You don't want it to operate and to act and to represent Guyanese. You're gone out there and carry R the 60. So when you're gone, when you're going, why you didn't carry credit and all of them with you? You understand? I am not hesitating. I'm letting you know the facts. So just remind and remember and remind y'all, remind Air Fraud that on the 21st of December 2020, Guyana, along with 60 nations, voted against that bill that was tabled in United Nations General Assembly to prevent first world countries, Western countries, from practicing racism and having systematic racism against black people that are living all around the world. So totally mistaking this factor. And the other thing, he talked about people who are not accepting Guyanese that are going out into the countries that come in with the Sputnik V vaccine. You can imagine you got the audacity to tell an international community that doesn't even care about certain vaccine process pertaining to this covert. Who are you to lecture them? You can't even lecture your own country. You have no control over your own country. You want to control people by your terrorist actions. And you lecturing people. Yes, as to those who are now coming up, you can call in and have a problem. I'm fired up tonight. I mean, I got an hour, but I don't mind. I started late. Please forgive my lateness. You know, I had a few things that I had to deal with, but so we're talking about them, and then we're talking about the other interest groups that are going, the other interesting things that are going on right now in Guyana. Hold on. Now, the things that are going on in Guyana. Right now, we got problems with the issuance of what you call a flood relief or flood grant. Some fancy nonsense. The people who were punishing, and now their own constituency, the vex, because some of them voted for the APNU AFC. They know them good. They now have information of all the ballots and the ballot boxes in different areas. So they're trying to punish these areas now. Places like Eccles voted predominantly for the APNU AFC. And knocked them out because it was a PPP area. So the vex. So people who in certain areas now, especially that are seeking the flood relief or the flood grant or whatever they're calling it, even if they're getting the required amount that is issued in Barbies and places like the $2 million what they're giving out to them people, and they're giving $50,000 to them who in need of it, who really had the flood. So now we got the trailer, the main action movie. You could go to with the place name Movie Tongue and see it. The Dunce and the Criminal. This is what we got representing me right now. That is what Guyana has representing them right now. It is sad to say, but that's the fact. And he jumping on the plane for see where? Ghana. Well, you know, I want Guyanese to understand. When these people goes to these countries don't know much about these leaders that's coming. It's like if we got the president of Suriname coming over here to Guyana. We don't know much about them. We don't know much about the political standing. So what we do a grandstanding event. Or you're representing Guyana, you're coming to visit us, well, we can give you a warm welcome. It's the fact. But I see like he walked with 2 house slaves. And then they got the photo up, so I don't know what going on with them in the photo up. It's the same set of criminal gangs. Ali, Barrett, Meyer, Gonzalez. And I think Hugh Todd must go with them. And the other one, what's your name? Rodriguez. One big grandstanding. And what do you represent? Nothing. Guyanese doesn't want you. We had a protest out there today, and we intend to make sure that our voices be heard. We basically do not encourage, and we don't want you. We want you to pack up your good looks and go. Guyana doesn't want you. You need to understand that we want our constitution back. Go there in the world stage and talk about reinstalling our constitution, giving it back to Guyanese and its democratic arms. That's what we want. That is what we want. We don't want no grandstanding event. Ask Sarah. She can tell you. She's well advised that to tell you that to talk about African reparation or African Guyanese, reparation for African Guyanese. There's a stale bone to pick with since in Barrett time. And he makes sure that he put the slaves, the house slaves at the African Museum who represent them. And the same reparation has been going on for years. And nothing can come out of it. Nothing can come out of it. Oh, we're supposed to get a mule and an acre? Well, here, some of we got dead before we get her. Some of we got dead before we get her. Or we got vote for the PPP. I figured that one out. Because I don't know where in the world his epiphany is going. Or if he have one. Because all they're doing is thinking how they can make money off of Guyana. Off of we. I like to say African Guyanese. Some people like say black people, but off of we. This is all they're going about, thinking about. They're representing us. It's an apartheid system. They don't represent us. The words that are coming out of their mouth is grandstanding. It's a bunch of lies. You're talking about representing black Guyanese. Start for the Henry boys first. Let's start with the Henry boys first. That's a representation. And then we can go from there. Start with the Henry boys first and drop the charges against the entire Henry family. That you make them pay $1 million in bail. You could imagine. You put in black people in distress, you're oppressing them, you're murdering them. Then you're killing them out with your nonsense. And you want to go there and talk about what? You representing who? You don't know. When I listen to them things, you scratch my match. The fuse, the gas, it's lit. Fire. Bunch of hypocrites. Come home here. Come back home here and have a public forum like Turn Up. And ask you show me the evidence of a representation of a people. Show me the evidence. Don't tell me about house lots. It's taxpayers' money. The land belongs to Guyanese. You got to issue them. Don't tell me nothing but the school money. The $19,000 taxpayers' money. You gave me back my money. Let it come out of the PPP packet. Everything that is of a government is taxpayers' money. It belongs to them. It's people who just pay taxes. You're getting them back the money. That is your job. That is every party job that comes into a government, every political party. The job is to look after the people of that nation. What makes their political standing great is when they create economic conditions to bring wealth and change livelihoods in the country. That's what makes their political party a grandstanding one. Because economically, they decided to change things that can improve the lives of Guyanese. Who you improve? 3,000 people you don't send home. Who hiring them back? Because you think the vote for PPP. And you go back out there telling people you representing black people. These hypocrites and them house slaves. What I got? You can make you imagine how you so disrespectful. You can't never talk about me. You can't ever talk about me, and you trying to prevent me from speaking the truth. Lock me up one time. Lock me up a second time. Now I got you in court. You got me in court for talking the truth. You trying to suppress the information. Scrub the internet. When you can't get the internet for scrub now, I get blocked. I got there fighting while doing the Michael Jackson across Facebook. You think I can done with y'all? I just start. This year and a half is just smoke. I just start. Here, look, I trying to block this person forever. I don't know. I tell you already, don't advertise nothing on my page. I don't know, suddenly, I don't know who's this person, but HIV and what possible cure for, man, you create your own Facebook page and go there. Now we got more than one troubling issues. We got people now turning up at the public medical institutes and cannot be helped because they ain't got the amount of nurses and they ain't got the amount of staff to issue on the required medical attention. And because they don't have a covert book, I call it covert because I don't know if YouTube gonna block me again. I have to create another channel. So those who are having a hard time getting me on Facebook, I'm back on YouTube, but you just gotta type in G Matthews. That's all. And I'll pop up. G Matthews. I have to create a different YouTube channel. And you can't miss it. Because when you type in G Matthews, you see, not only I will turn up, but you know, his handsome smile. So, so the racism continues. The racism continues. Systematic racism continues and oppression. Every single day you wake up in this country is another day of terror by the PPP, by the PPTP, People's Progressive Terrorist Party. And to the people who support us like them, the vex. So they're going against them. They ain't getting them the salary, they're making their lives uncomfortable, sending people by the house, surrounding the house and making all kind of different noises, scaring the people because they support an APNU AFC coalition. And then to continue the de facto reign on this country, trying to mandate vaccination among the people. No, people must choose. And when I make my choice today, I tell them plain, I said, oh, not me. I ain't taking nothing. This de facto regime can't make I take nothing. So if with the supermarket name again, I remember. Marseille supermarket. They want to accept me? Fine. Me really got eat from them. It's foreign food coming in a can with preservatives that can shorten me lifespan. So I can go at places now and buy. So we got to encourage ourselves now to go to the food market like from in Mocha, those who are on the East Bank. So when they have the fresh food market every other 2 weeks or every other week on the Saturdays and Sundays, we turn up and buy. It's produce. We got eat. We ain't got definitely eat nothing in a can. Everything coming here. Let me tell you something. 80% of the consumable items in this country we can plant ourselves that comes to this country. And the businessmen are so differently able in their thinking. They only invest in things that they import into Guyana. But to invest in Guyanese produce to export is a different story. We can do this thing ourselves. We ain't got to beg nobody. We ain't got to eat rice every day. We got the dairy farms. We got the layers. I don't know if you got to go now. The farmer should ask them if they got, show them if they got the covert books. If they got the covert book and they're coming for buy you can't sell you. That should be the best thing all. What we got, we things we growing. We can eat our own produce. We got the rice growing, we got the sugar growing. Well, I don't know about the sugar, because guys super in a scarecrow right now. But the thing is that we got everything coming from our own. We could consume our own produce. That's what makes it so great. You can imagine. Let me show you how Bounty is smart. Bounty supermarket. They start with the same thing too. Oh, show your cohort book. You know what happened? About 10 people end up there a day. And open up back the stores and ask about the cohort book. You think they chop it? Because you know we got the spending power. When I say we, I mean we as a people, we got the force, we got the spending power. So if we lock our money in our pockets and refuse to spend it at your store, let me see what can happen. Let me see what can happen. Fine, you're at the bank door and you want people show a covert book for going. Well, if we turn up for doing no business, I don't know how the bank making money. I know the projected loss is going to be heavy this year. Because when you check inside the bank, they have less and less people every single day. They have less and less people. And you know these people should chopity. This de facto administration. They said chopity that in every household of 5 persons, they have 2 might have their covert book and the 3 ain't got nothing. So when they come home, how you think the 2 who got the covert book is the breadwinners? So the other 3 ain't have to get no covert book. So they're living happy. They're living happy. Because they ain't got to get nothing. And when they're done now, when they finish, I can talk about Marseille supermarket just now. But when they finish, the guy in the body place telling people, oh, it's how much? 4,000 new COVID cases within 4 months. 4,000 new COVID cases within 4. This thing going on quite. This is rapid growth in COVID. These people looking for $600 million. Because this is what they're asking for. And every time I look out, I see Guyanese going about the business. And the ambulance running up and down and it's empty. Every single day, they're paying them enough money for burn gas up and down the East Coast and East Bank. And if you stop it and look inside, you think nobody. Hey, I tell you, don't carry your family to the hospital. Don't carry your family to the hospital if they got fever, if they're coughing, because they're going to disappear. And when you hear the shout, you hear the gun in the covert ward, and you can't see them, suddenly they stretch off. But let me talk about Massey Supermarket. Let me tell you now. Gavin Matthews know your story, so don't think. Don't think that you can come in this country and flaunt your wings and think, well, yes, we know that the de facto administration allow you to come in and be a part of all these different companies. But we know of your expected activities that are deemed you're being watched by the State Department and the Central Intelligence Agency. Yes. So don't think nobody know your story. So when you could support, and this will show you, this is why it's called this PPP, a terrorist government, because the people who supports them, the people who supports them are great suspects in terrorist activities, just like them. They're questionable characters, their company, everything. Yes. You know me mouth in the long is it rip. I start the facts. I said to them who are here doing business, and I said to our businessmen who are doing business also too, are being looked at and are questioned, aroused of them, and the making of money. So you got Massey's, you got what's this place name again? Discount? Not discount. Yes, discount. And you got a few others. As a matter of fact, the entire private sector, privately business-owned persons. I saw a security company down here today, and it has bearings and the registered name by the name of Blackwater. Now, if it's a local company and the name that it's registered under, please, because Blackwater is known as a private security group that goes into countries and destabilize countries. The Pentagon and the State Department, all these people use them a lot. So if it's a local privately owned company, well, I tell you, I already choose a name. I observe. I have knowledge of things. I love to read. Current affairs is my hobby. I comprehend things a lot. So when you go there and you talk a lot of nonsense, come and debate me, man. Call me on my show and I answer my phone. Don't hide behind the computer. Don't hide behind the computer and be used privately. Call Gavin Matthews. I am ready, so I perspiring. I'm on fire because I done vex with ear fraud. Before you go there and talk about your own party, you're gonna include black people like me or African Guyanese. How you so disrespectful? How you are so disrespectful and your attitude and actions against us because we look like we come under the palm tree. So you treat us like how you own and you walk with such disrespect. The rat will sit down next to you will talk about, oh, the only way the opposition comes to parliament is to eat the food. That's the only thing. That's what he said. Oh, they ain't coming to argue and think issues, they're coming to eat the food. So, in other words, they're hungry belly dogs. You don't got to talk it plain out, but we understand you. And you gone till to the United States of America at the United Nations building to say about African and repatriation, African Guyanese and its repatriation. Imagine you gone till there to talk about it. You gone till there to talk about it. When the actions of your terrorist party are there to murder black people in the streets. Well, you know that's a fact. You had 10 years of tyranny and terror of Barjack Dio. That's what happened. And you want to brush it off. Oh, 1,480 people, he brushing it off here, Rebel. They got to come a time that he's going to talk about it. When? Where is the time? He said that in his interview before that they were installed by Sarah and Lynch in the Donald Trump government. He said that. So when are you going to talk about it? I don't want you to sit down and talk about an independent inquiry because none of them on the boards that you got, you can't trust them. None of them at all. They ain't got no independent inquiry. Guyanese, you stop asking for independent inquiry from international people because it makes sense. It's time we get up, get some sense in my brain. Get up and support a lockdown and push them out. That's the independence that we want. We inquire among ourselves how to get them out of government. Because it make no sense I ask the Caribbean Court of Justice for assistance in another 5 years. And by the time they're ready to give judgment, the 5 years done, it's time for election again. No, I want them out. Because they're now showing us that they're comfortable now. They're going on the world stage. And they're acting on behalf of Guyanese. I'm waiting for the no one Harmon to come back. Because as far as I'm concerned, for him to go there, some letter of recognition recognizing him as president had to be signed. Those are the questions I want to ask. People might want to talk about it, but I can talk about it. Because them boys took our constitution away. And these people that we got operating like they can't represent us, like they don't know where to start. It's John B. politics playing right now. Because the brainless attorney general we got, not so educated. Because I don't know which part of them law books that he reading. Got companies and international companies and all these people down here that carrying away we rights. Carrying away what is due to us. And people sign up talking about they're going to make sure Guyanese inherit the what? The oil, the prospects of the oil. I don't know when is that. So when he could stand up and say, oh, he wants a vibrant operation, and then this is what we got to deal with. This look the craziness we got to deal with. Chatrin and the lal. A bunch of rodents. So the question I'm asking is if a letter was signed recognizing air fraud Ali, because the only way he can go there to represent Guyana, because it's under full recognition, or is the State Department recognizing him? Somebody got to come out and tell me something. Somebody got to come out and say something to me, because I'm now asking the questions. I know a lot of people stuck in. I want to ask the question because it ain't going to be politics 101. It will never be politics 101. It's Gavin Matthews 101. Because I know the Constitution says that the executive and the parliamentary bodies is what make up the government, which is the opposition. So when that dunce jumps on the plane and go till there to represent, he was gone there with the full recognition. Or is the State Department recognized him? Because believe you me, I got questions I want to ask. I got questions I want to ask. So to those who are now looking, why I'm talking like this is because I'm well aware of how things happen in Guyana. I'm well aware of how politics takes its place. I'm well aware of the constitutional mandate of both the opposition and the de facto regime. I'm well aware of that. And it cannot be silenced. We cannot suddenly go quietly into the night. You see what happened? When we go quietly into the night, they come quietly into the night and murder us like the businessman in Essequibo in Dartmouth. And up to now, nobody can take responsibility for his death. The police force can't say the reason why the SWAT team went at his house. We got to sit down and wait and lawyer to ask the court, to ask the police. I mean, you're serious? You can imagine that when both sections, both democratic arms, the police force and the judicial system is compromised. And we got to wait on them to make an investigation or to start an investigation or start a commission of inquiries. You could imagine that. And they send the house slave that is in charge of the Ministry of Home Affairs to go there to the, I tell you, these people are really ridiculous, boy. They send the slave catcher. This is the man in charge of catching all the runaway slaves. This is what they send, the slave catcher. For go there to tell the people, well, he ran and we had to catch him and he died in the process. And I've been calling on the Minister of Social Services and Human, wherever it is. What her name is, Parag, or look, I can't remember the name because I don't really pay attention to them. Human Services and Social Development. I think that's our ministry. As she claimed to be a minister to look into the lives of the businessmen, the lives of the family of the businessmen that were tortured by the terroristic actions of the police. And imagine you hold on one man to put him on the close arrest. When there's a whole set of them went. Their actions and their presence alone terrorize that family. And the death of the sole breadwinner, the hero of the lives of the wife and the children, are left to mourn in sorrow. When will justice take its place? Because as far as I'm concerned, justice delayed is justice denied. This is not another action. This is an added now. And to those who are looking and talking, let me tell you this. The African Guyanese who are part makes up the military. You understand? You know how they live? They live under threat, under siege. If you don't do what the government do, you can't get paid. If you don't do what the de facto regime says, you can't get paid, you can't get benefits, you lose your gratuity. You can't know how they work. So they hold that as a threat to you. So you got to do what they say. You got to go there and blow the man brains out. This way got to happen to you. And then the audacity for him to go on the international stage to talk about African Guyanese and repatriation. This man got belly. Yeah, he got belly, got lots of belly, got guts. He got belly. To sit there and to talk about Guyanese. To sit there and have his epiphany. To think, well, he indulges good in the lives of African Guyanese. I'm telling y'all on this show, these people got no constituency. Nobody to vote for them. So the best thing for do, because you know that the black Guyanese ain't gonna vote for them. So the best thing for do is terrorize them and keep on being installed by the US State Department. I'm going to say this to most people. Come off your hands that you're sitting on. Refusing to represent your own self, your own household. Refusing to secure your own well-being, your lives. And open your eyes to what is taking place before you. It is a serious thing. We have in this country to be very, very cognizant of our own lives. We have to work to secure the lives of our children and our children's future. It is important to us to work perilously for that security because we have no security right now. See what is happening? They're here murdering us and we're seeing it every single day. It's right in front of our eyes. And they're on the international stage talking about African Guyanese and repatriation. And the poor dunce can't even pronounce the word properly. So frightened he got the English teacher over. He's so much afraid. He can't pronounce the word, became yek tulash. Look, I want to thank those who had the time out to be a part of this show tonight. And I know I was reading your comments while you were listening. Hold on. Oh, I see. While you were listening, and I want to thank you very much. And I want to say to you that it is good that we keep pressing on the basic issues in this country. To those who are overseas, to keep on the fight. I will try to make the fight come to this de facto administration. We have GIBO, which is Guyana Economic Blackout. We'll have their meet. We have discussions also too. And we're trying to invite members of the opposition. or members of the APNU AFC don't really like the opposition because they are the only duly elected government we got right now. This one we got is not duly elected, it's de facto. But we want to invite them to for this discussion so we can have this blackout going. So I want to say thank you very much once again. Please go to the Gavin Matthews Show page, go on the referendum and vote. I need your votes. Seriously, I definitely need your votes. Go there. You're going to see the ballot. I'm going to put it up again, and go to the GoFundMe page and make your contributions. I want to thank you very much. I want to say to you to stay safe, be careful, sanitize yourself, wear a mask. And don't forget the little ones you take into public places. Look, you can imagine. Look, hold on. Before I go, take a good look at your screen. This is what we got to deal with. Lal Bihari, Ram Koran, this is what we got to deal with. Look, take a good look at your screen, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we got to deal with. You understand? This is what we got to deal with. At the end of the day, this is what we got to deal with. You got to deal with people who can't read, write, and spell. I want to abuse me about history. This is what we got to deal with. So what I can do with your partner? I can help you out. Don't know what I can help you out with. So please remember to stay safe, be careful, sanitize yourself, wear a mask. Don't forget the little ones you want to take into public places. This is Dr. Matthews saying good night. Cheerios for now.